More and more people are interested in healthy lifestyle these days. As for myself, living and thinking healthy has been my life. I don't believe in any diets or treatments that are supposed to make us lose weight. My theory is if one of those diets worked, why do we need the rest of them? But I'm not the expert. Somebody else is, who is taking the guest chair on Via Mia today.
The Via Mia Show is sponsored by the following people.
Recording, rehearsal space, voiceovers, video editing in Westminster. For more information, fiascobros.com. Cuts and colors in Uptown Westminster. We welcome our stylist, George of Salon Caliente. For appointment, call 604-544-5104. Private investigations, security and alarm systems since 1972. For more information, call 604-251-2121. Makeup services for television, movie, and photo shoots. For more information, visit victoriawan.com.
Another interesting show, interesting topic, and interesting guest today on Via Mia. I'd like to ask her, and hopefully she will be able to show us how we can provide our body easy nutrition, the easy way, how we can do that. I'd like to welcome and introduce nutrition specialist and nutrition consultant, SUZANNE STOECKLE. Hello, Suzanne.
Nice to see you again.
Right at the beginning, and I'm making a mistake, yes, Suzanne is nutrition consultant. That's correct, right?
Yes, yes.
And it's really nice to see you again. You know how many years it was when you sat down beside me.
Yes.
And obviously a visit made some memories because I wanted you to come back and we can talk about something else. People are, like we know, interested more and more what to eat, how to live better. Mm-hmm. And many of them are still confused how to do that, even if they really do want it. So you have been in the business for decades, and I'd like to know the demand of the people. Like, for example, why are we still dieting? Why do people want to diet?
Well, I think we do have an epidemic of obesity. That's just a fact. And we live very sedentary lives. We live lives that are very fast-paced, that are full of stress. And all of those things can deteriorate our health. They can cause weight gain. They can cause illness. So I think people are concerned today about their wellness, and I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that when I was a child, very seldom did people talk to you about their health. So I think it is a new awareness, and I think it's a really good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. We're going to be talking about some specific things, how to eat. There's one specific item to be added into our healthy lifestyle, which is, I think, becoming very fashionable these days. And so kind of divided adults versus children, because obviously we need a little bit different of that, and I know that you're the one who can explain a little more. So let's start with the group of adults. Many times I hear this, I'm sure you've heard it as well. I don't have to watch myself. I don't have to worry what I'm eating anytime, any day. My metabolism is so speedy. What do you think about this?
Well, health is not dependent on a rapid metabolism. What a rapid metabolism says is that some people definitely can eat a lot of carbs and a lot of fats and they do not gain weight. But being thin isn't necessarily being healthy. Now, being overweight is certainly an issue with health. But our body needs a rainbow of nutrients to remain healthy. We need, yes, everyone talks about protein and everyone talks about fats, but we need vitamins, we need minerals, we need antioxidants, we need a variety of nutrients to remain healthy and to age gracefully. So metabolism is only one small little piece of the puzzle.
So people, they don't have to worry about their weight. Obviously, it's the only thing they're talking about. Probably are not aware that what they're doing to their bodies, eating the way they think they can. When they say, I can eat at 10 o'clock in the evening, and I can have bacon at 10 o'clock, it doesn't show anything on me.
Yes.
So I guess they were talking about more appearance than anything else.
Yes. And I mean, the body doesn't lie. So, I mean, if the body's not well, you're going to visually see that. However, there is more to being healthy than being thin.
Yeah. So, to live healthy, does it require to limit yourself in terms of, is it difficult to keep the diet we should have?
Well, I would say probably 50 years ago we didn't have to limit too much because we didn't have access to the foods we have access to now.
Yeah.
So now it takes, yes, self-discipline to remain healthy. You have to look at the array of packaged and snack foods and convenience foods that we have today. And so today you have to have discipline and you have to be knowledgeable to remain healthy and eat well.
Yeah, everything seems to be way too convenient, right?
Yes.
For us.
Yes. Well, we live fast-paced lifestyle, so we want things that are quick.
So now the topic that was really interesting because very, very recently I stepped into it and I found it really nice balance, nice change. Smoothies, which mean liquid food versus solid food. A lot of people are interested in liquid food, but there are some confusion I noticed. First of all, what kind of blender or juicer should I use? What should I mix in? What it makes really healthy, balanced, and also tasty?
Well, there are many different kinds of equipment on the market, but you can keep it simple. Like I've got this very, very simple little machine that you can pick up at Canadian Tire, you can buy on the internet, you can buy anywhere. And it's just a very simple little machine, very relatively inexpensive, or you can use an old-fashioned blender, or if you're making smoothies because you really it's a serious health issue, you could use a juicer first and juice vegetables and then add them to a smoothie. But the equipment is important because what a smoothie is taking solid food and pulverizing it and adding liquid to it. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Right? So any kind of a machine that does that for you is acceptable. You don't have to spend a lot of money.
Because people ask me if I get everything from that liquid food. I mean, it really depends what you put in, right?
Exactly.
But whatever you put in, you're going to get into
exactly.
your system.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The reason I ask if it's juicer or blender, a lot of people buy juicer and they see the fibers and everything go to garbage. And they don't understand why they should keep.
Well, there's two different kinds of things. Many years ago, I was very ill, and I used a juicer, and I separated out a great deal of the fiber simply because I had to drink a juice every hour. So your body can't utilize all that fiber. Another thing that's important to remember, I mean, we're always being told we need more fiber. However, like anything in life, there's a balance. Too much fiber can prevent the absorption of protein and minerals. So we need a balance. There's always a balance. So yes, that's what a blender or a food processor like this does. It gives you the fiber as well as the juice.
So I can see, I mean, we can take a look at the table and you can explain a little more, but before, you've seen it already on your screens. Suzanne is providing her contact information, again, suzanne.livingfoods@gmail.com. If you would like to book for consultation, book appointment with her, you're free to do that and ask more questions if you are not satisfied what you hear today. So taking a look at the table, I can see the variety of everything. You actually can blend everything, put in one.
Yes. I think what's really important is you have to decide what is the smoothie for. Is it for a meal replacement? Is it just for a snack in the middle of the day? Is it your breakfast? So that will determine what you put in it. So for example, if it's a meal replacement, it's breakfast or lunch or supper for that matter. For children or for adults, you want to look at the basic nutrients. You want to make sure you've got a protein. You want to make sure you've got good fat. You want to make sure you've got vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and of course the fiber will come with the food that you're blending.
So what do you use for protein?
So protein, there are many options for protein for smoothies. There are things that you can purchase today. You can purchase whey. You can powdered whey. You can purchase for children or for people who are allergic to milk products. Often they can take a goat milk. You can purchase powdered goat milk. And for someone who doesn't want any kind of dairy, there are many, many different kinds of powdered proteins on the market today. Yeah. So it's important to understand what plant proteins are and what the advantages and the limitations are, because there are limitations. So for example, for a vegetarian wanting protein in their diet, usually they're recommended to what they call marry different plant proteins. So rice and corn, or hemp and beans, or something like that. Now there are a couple of very unique plants, quinoa being one of them, that is a complete protein that does not have to be married to anything else. So what that means is proteins are made up of amino acids. So there is a whole myriad of amino acids, some of them called essential. And essential amino acids are amino acids that we cannot develop in our body from anything. And we absolutely have to have those amino acids. What's wonderful about quinoa, it also has 3 or 4 amino acids that children cannot produce in their body. And quinoa also contains those. So a product like a instant quinoa, not a quinoa flour, because quinoa should be cooked before it's eaten, because it has anti-nutrients in it. So an instant quinoa, I have one here, and there is
Can we see that?
Yes, there is. This particular product isn't available in Canada. You can buy it on the web, but also there's an instant quinoa in Choices by a different brand. So instant quinoa, what's wonderful about instant quinoa is that it provides you with a complete protein. Now, that protein doesn't necessarily have to be your complete protein for the day. What's important is to recognize what you need per meal. So an average woman needs about 50 grams of protein in a day. All right, so 2 tablespoons of this will only maybe give you 3 or 4 grams of protein. But if you're going to have, meat for supper or other proteins during the day, for a child, that's an adequate amount of protein for a meal, 2 tablespoons. Yeah. What's nice about a product like this is that it gives substance to your smoothies. It makes it creamy. They don't separate. Yeah. And it also, quinoa, what's amazing about quinoa is it also provides wonderful minerals, vitamins, and fats.
That's great to know, because quinoa is my favorite product. And you stay with us, because we're going to be back just after this short break.
The VMEA Show is sponsored by the following people.
Recording, rehearsal space, voiceovers, video editing in New Westminster. For more information, fiascobros.com. Cuts and colors in Uptown New Westminster. We welcome our stylist, George of Salon Caliente. For appointment, call 604-544-5104. Private investigations, security and alarm systems since 1972. For more information, call 604-251-2121. Makeup services for television, movie, and photo shoots. For more information, visit victoriawan.com.
So we are with Suzanne Stoeckle today, a nutrition consultant. And I'd like to carry on, because time with you, it's really flying, Suzanne. We were talking about smoothies, how important they are, how important it is to understand the balance your life, not only in your eating properly, we also have to find time for some physical activity as well,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And I remember you were also telling me, you were saying that the smoothie should really differ, depends on when we are taking it. People, they work out, like pre and post workout smoothies. Would you be able to give us some ideas?
Well, a lot of people go and work out and they don't eat before. And this is quite hard on the body. So I always recommend people do a pre-workout, and a smoothie is a perfect way to eat prior to a workout. And something like quinoa that I pointed out a few minutes ago, that's a very light protein and some fat and some vitamins and minerals and definitely antioxidants. So berries are a wonderful source of antioxidants, because a lot of people don't realize that when we work out, our body is oxidized, and that oxidization causes aging. So even though we're working out, we think, oh, we're getting very, very healthy, we're moving our bodies, we're burning calories, we're also oxidizing our body. So antioxidants are extremely important, and antioxidants come with any kind of color.
And that has to come after the workout?
No, that can come before and after.
Oh, so probably the best either.
So something light, like a little bit of nut butter, even sunflower seeds, or if you can eat a peanut butter, or if you can eat almond butter, you could put it into a smoothie, or the quinoa with some berries and maybe a little bit, half a banana, and just drink that when you're, when you first get up, and then you do your workout, and that's when then you can have heavier proteins, like your whey protein or some of the protein powders that you can see in health food stores that you can buy, or you can put something heavier afterwards, right? But you do need a little bit before you start a workout.
Some people are not a fan of using dairy products, so they don't want to mix it with milk. So there are a lot of other things we can use, like you brought almond.
There's almond milk you can buy today. There's coconut water. There's coconut milk you can buy today that add they add protein, they add good fat.
Are they heavy in carbs?
There are carbs in them, but I think if you're selective about the ones that you buy. But I think there's a difference between carbohydrates when someone's sedentary and carbohydrates when someone's working out. You do need a certain amount of carbohydrates. The thing about carbohydrates is you have to focus on unrefined carbohydrates. Unrefined carbohydrates will have fiber, they will have minerals, they will have vitamins. So those things slow down the absorption of sugars. So you want unrefined carbohydrates. Like, for example, if you're eating a meal, brown rice is an unrefined carbohydrate. White rice is pure sugar.
This is whole science.
It is.
What you're telling me.
It is a science.
And I thought I'm going to learn from you something in this half hour. I will need many half hours to understand. And I see also, I think you told me that this is tea.
Yes. Now, tea is a wonderful thing to put as a base for a smoothie. And a lot of people don't think about tea as a smoothie. And there's wonderful teas, hibiscus tea, green tea, which stimulates the metabolism. You make a strong tea to begin with, very strong. Take a tea bag and just put a half a cup and let it steep for 5 or 10 minutes. And then add all the other things that you want to add, spinach, kale, nuts, whatever you want to.
Use.
Oh, absolutely. Tea is full of antioxidants. Green tea, hibiscus tea.
What about people they can't tolerate caffeine?
Well, that's why tea's a good option. And an ordinary good quality black tea does have a little bit of caffeine in it, and it will pick you up. But there's other teas without caffeine, right?
Yeah.
All kinds of teas.
I really like it. It's very inviting, the brown smoothie. What is inside?
That is the berry mix.
Oh,
so that's got blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, and strawberries in it, and the blackberries are giving it that brown color.
Okay, I thought that maybe it's a protein powder there.
Yeah.
So I guess not.
Now that I've also put a little bit of cocoa in there. Now cocoa is a wonderful flavoring. You don't have to use a lot of sugar with cocoa. Cocoa is an antioxidant, and cocoa is a wonderful, wonderful food, long as it's a good quality cocoa, not without sugar added. And one thing I wanted to say is you don't have to use sugar in smoothies. You can use fruit to sweeten smoothies.
No,
you do not need sugar, right? A lot of people think of smoothies as something where people are adding a lot of sugar and they're saying, well, it's not a good food. right?
Yeah.
But you can use fruit to sweeten smoothies.
And to make it, like I mentioned to you a little while ago, I started to put a touch of cinnamon into it.
Absolutely.
And it brings very nice taste.
Yes.
And you said it's good anyway.
Yes, well, cinnamon is great for people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic because it slows down the absorption of sugar.
Yes.
So cinnamon's wonderful. Another thing that people, for example, who work out a lot of them have inflammation or they have joint problems. You can buy very good organic turmeric powder today and add that to a smoothie as well, which will help fight inflammation.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that you can buy on the market today that were not available years ago. And wonderful thing I find about smoothies for children too is they make a great breakfast if you're in a hurry in the morning. And my daughter puts them into popsicle trays and she freezes them. So it's a great snack to hand to a child if you're busy running out, getting into the car, and the child's hungry. You can have a protein in there. And so the child's getting a little mini meal or a good quality snack that doesn't involve sugar.
And I can see that you are also very good in presentation.
Presentation is very important with food.
When I'm looking at the green smoothie right here in the beautiful glass, and I think that you sprinkle a little bit of orange peel.
Orange peel, yes.
And mint, right?
Mint, yes. Now, I have a friend who found herself in a situation where she was drinking far too much wine. And she said to me, I really have to stop this. And I said, well, why are you drinking wine? And she said, I just sit down in the evening. I want something nice. I like drinking out of a wine glass. So I said, well, why don't you try making yourself a really nice smoothie in the evening? And she told me there's lots of evenings where she doesn't have a glass of wine anymore. She has, and that's why I think presentation is very important. I think sometimes the presentation relaxes us as much and makes us feel special as much as maybe the wine does, right?
Yeah.
And for children, presentation is everything with children. The Japanese have a saying, you should feast with your eyes as well as with your belly. And so I think presentation is very important, and nature provides us with just food in its natural form is so beautiful.
If I can step aside a little bit of from the smoothies and all just the food section, you said something when I met you last time. You said something so important, I think, and interesting. I never thought about it as a part of healthy lifestyle. How many times it happens to people who work early, they get up, they wake up in the dark, especially in the winter. They come home, it's dark again. Their offices, many times they don't have windows, so they don't see daylight many days a year. And you were saying that how important it is to have that daylight.
Oh, daylight is extremely important. I mean, there's a lot of discussion today about sunlight and about vitamin D being developed in our bodies. I can't understate that people need to get sun on their bodies. There's been a lot of talk about, the rays of the sun damaging our skin and causing skin cancer, but we have really over-exaggerated this and putting all the sunscreen, which prevents the development of vitamin D. So I always say to people, you need to be outside, but not just that. When the light falls on your eye, it stimulates your pituitary gland, which is extremely important for your overall health. So it's very, very important for people to get outside. So if you're someone who comes in, drives into your garage, gets back in your garage, drives out and goes underground, it's very important at lunchtime or before supper or when it's light out to be outside. Light is extremely important to maintain our bodies in a wellness state.
It does make big sense, and I never thought about it. When you were talking about children, what do you think is that the biggest mistake that parents make in terms of feeding their children?
Well, I think the biggest mistake that parents make with their children is too much snack food. And it's very, very, very hard to resist it because children, when they get tired, the quickest thing that will solve a whining child is to hand them a sweet. And it is the biggest child because they develop what we call a sweet palate. And as they get older, it's very difficult for them to enjoy foods that are a little bit bitter or a little bit sour. So I think it's very important for children to have healthy food for snacks. Have dates, have figs. They're sweet, but they're also full of minerals, and they're also full of all kinds of antioxidants. And they have a little bit of natural sugar in them, but you can take a smoothie and freeze it and give it to them in the car. You can make smoothies and put them in, and presentation's everything. Buy a nice little cup for a child with a colored straw and have it in the car so they can drink that. But children should not become hungry. So when children say they're hungry, if you're out and you're busy, you're on the road to crying and everyone being upset. So try to have good little snacks for your children in between, especially when you're busy, because a lot of children don't have set meal times anymore. If you're very busy, you're coming home, you're late for supper. Important for a child to have a snack after school. My daughter literally makes smoothies and puts them in a little thermos, and the children have them for their lunch.
So smoothies are a good choice for children.
Very, very good. Children love liquids, for one thing. It's very easy to get foods into children in a smoothie that you will not get into them in a meal. For example, things like kale, spinach, those kinds of things. You can disguise them in a smoothie with a little bit of banana,
just
a little
don't
bit
let
of
them
quinoa.
show what you're putting in. Because so many times
don't let them see it at all.
I don't like broccoli and all these things. So
exactly, yes.
But
so,
like you said, the presentation is good, and if you can sprinkle with a taste, like you said, cocoa or cinnamon or anything. So
well, and some adults also like it spicy. You know, they also like a little bit of cayenne in there, or a little bit of those kinds of things. So you can also make a spicy kind of more of a savory smoothie, right? They don't all have to be sweet.
Well, thank you, Suzanne. I wish I can chat with you more longer because this is interesting, and I'm sure it's going to be time you're going to be back if you're still interested. And you saw the contact, Suzanne.livingfoods@gmail.com. That's the contact for Suzanne if you'd like to book appointment. I hope you enjoyed this half hour like I did. I'm going to let Suzanne, you know this routine. This is the seventh cup.
Thank you.
You've been here, you know how it is. I'll need to have your signature,
All right.
signature on the cup number 7, and I'll see you again next time.